You support that?
He's cost us a lot of seats. I could probably spend some time and come up with the numbers. He cost us the Senate twice. He cost us the House.
But what's the difference between that and what
losing voted for him in 2016, hoping that there was going to be a different kind of person in office. And I do think character is a really important issue. If you put yourself above the Constitution, as he has done.
But what happened? I
think that makes you unfit for office.
Was it the whole January 6th thing?
That's a part of it. I think it's a contribution of factors, but I think it really is just character at the end of the day. And the fact that if you're willing to put yourself above the Constitution, an oath you swear when you take office, in federal office, whether it's president or a member of Congress, you swear an oath to the Constitution. And if you're willing to suborn it to yourself, I think that makes you unfit for office.
Oh, that's gonna hurt!
Okay, I know, just shake it off. It's gross agreeing with former Republican Speaker Paul Ryan, but these are the times that we are in. And you can only imagine Trump's reaction to seeing the former Speaker. I know it seems a lifetime ago. There's been about 27 speakers since then, but stay with me here. Paul Ryan blasting him on the platform that usually offers Trump nothing but high praise, and also outlining how much of a loser he is and how costly he's become to Republicans. I mean, I hope the Mar-a-Lago walls are ketchup proof.
It's a remarkable phenomenon, an infuriating one for us, a humiliating one for them, observable to just about anyone familiar with the Trump political era. That is, the metamorphosis by some, but not all, outgoing Republicans, when they no longer need votes to stay in office. All of a sudden, they see the light, unshackled, free to speak their real minds about the disgraced ex-president. And while former House Speaker Paul Ryan never seemed all in on the Donald Trump experience, far from it, we're now starting to see what true freedom of expression can do to a Republican.
He's a populist, authoritarian narcissist. So historically speaking, all of his tendencies are, basically where narcissism takes him, which is whatever makes him popular, makes him feel good at any given moment.
While the list of Republicans who have stringently spoke out against the former president, only to then endorse him shamelessly, grows longer, there are still a few Republicans who remain firm in their stance. Mike Pence, John Kelly.
And Kelly says about Trump, "What can I add that has not already been said?" Calling President Trump, quote, "a person that has no idea what America stands for and has no idea what America is all about."
And of course, here, Paul Ryan, the latter of which appeared on Fox News earlier this evening to sit down with host Neil Cavuto, one of the few hosts who dare to waver from the oath of obligation to Orange Jesus.
But then we went to Nevada.
All right, we're continuing monitoring the president's remarks, and I mean no offense to him, or some of you might want to continue hearing, but I did have to say that even though the former president is entitled to his opinions, he's not entitled to his own set of facts.
When asked about whether he would support the convicted felon-in-chief, this was Paul Ryan's response.
Now, I know a lot of these folks who also shared your same concerns about Donald Trump have sort of said, all right, we're rallying around Donald Trump. You had said, though, that would not be the case with you. You had said that he's a populist and an authoritarian narcissist, that character is too important to me, and it's a job that requires the kind of character he just doesn't have. That's pretty strong.
Yeah, that's the way I feel. I agree with that. I voted for him in 2016, hoping that there was going to be a different kind of person in office. And I do think character is a really important issue. If you put yourself above the Constitution, as he has done.
But what happened?
I think that makes you unfit for office.
Was it the whole January 6th thing?
That's a part of it. I think it's a contribution of factors, but I think it really is just character at the end of the day. And the fact that if you're willing to put yourself above the Constitution, an oath you swear when you take office, in federal office, whether it's president or a member of Congress, you swear an oath to the Constitution. And if you're willing to suborn it to yourself, I think that makes you unfit for office.
Does it? You support that?
He's cost us a lot of seats. I could probably spend some time and come up with the numbers. He cost us the Senate twice. He cost us the House because he is nominating. He is pushing through the primaries people who cannot win general elections, but who pledged fealty to him. That's not a good way to build and grow a party. Ever since 2016,
but what's the difference between that and what?
Now, it's not the first time Paul Ryan has voiced publicly his disdain for Trump and claimed that character matters too much to him. Well, clearly not when he was a member of a party who refused to do anything when children were gunned down thanks to gun violence.
Ryan warns Republicans they'll lose in 2024 if they nominate Donald Trump.
So I don't really have a dog in the fight other than that. If we nominate Trump again, we're going to lose again. It's just that clear. We lost with him in 18, 20, and 22. We know this. He will cost us another election.
It's becoming a trend as of recent. In fact, last month, Trump's ever so fragile ego was bruised so badly that he ran to Daddy to ask him to fire Paul Ryan. That's right, he asked Rupert Murdoch to remove Paul Ryan from the board of Fox Corp. Why? Because Ryan says he won't vote for Trump in November. In a post on Truth Social, Trump wrote, quote, Rupert Murdoch should fire pathetic rhino Paul Ryan from the board of Fox. Ryan's a loser, always has been, always will be.
So Paul Ryan was not a talent. He wasn't a leader. When the people in freedom and great congressmen wanted to go after the Dems for things that they did very badly, he wouldn't give subpoenas.
The projection is strong with this one. And now, as I've been sure to say on numerous occasions, I'll hold off on my standing ovation for those all of a sudden brave enough to voice their dissent, while saying absolutely nothing while working under him. Or in the case of Bill Barr, said enough to sell some books only to then flip-flop and be seen as the most abhorrent of hypocrites.
Response to you saying you'd vote for the Republican ticket. Wow, former AG Bill Barr, who let a lot of great people down by not investigating voter fraud in our country, has just endorsed me for president despite the fact that I called him weak, slow-moving, lethargic, gutless, and lazy. Based on the fact that I greatly appreciate his wholehearted endorsement, I am removing the word lethargic from my statement. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah. It's classic Trump. What's the question?
What's your response?
My response, well, I mean, obviously what I said was that I'm very disappointed that this country is stuck with this choice between two people who I don't think either of them should be president of the United States. But given that binary choice, I feel I have to choose Trump.
But he's mocking you. Those two things that you just noted there, you believe are worse than a president of the United States trying to subvert the will of the people by overturning the results of the election?
I think a country.
These very same Republicans warning of Trump's authoritarian ambition and how he is the greatest threat have also said they'd refuse to support his opponent because of policy differences, which of course draws a huge false equivalence between policy differences and, well, fascism.
Tomorrow, that criminal trial, will your support for Donald Trump continue even if he's convicted in Manhattan?
Yeah, this trial is not going to have major political ramifications that a lot of people, I think it may have. And when it comes to these issues, people see it more as reality TV at this point. They really do. And so
you think you're comfortable with the idea of supporting someone who's convicted of a federal crime as president?
No, but it is likely because they're afraid of completely alienating themselves from the Republican Party, like, say, Ken Buck or Adam Kinzinger.
This is the cost of entry to the Republican Party. Caitlin, when I got elected, people told me in my district, the most hardcore Republicans said, go to Washington, D.C. and be your own man. Don't do what they tell you. It's amazing to watch that flipped to say, like, oh, you can't go to D.C. and be your own man. You have to pledge allegiance to the leader of the cult. And it's sad. It's bad for the country. It's terrible for the party.
You had said previously that you thought Chris Christie was telling the truth, that you liked him and supported him. Obviously, he has dropped out and suspended his campaign yesterday. What are you going to do now?
Nothing. I mean, I'm going to look. I think it's highly likely that it's going to be Biden against Trump, and in that case, there's no question who I would support. I believe in America way more than I believe in the Republican Party. I don't really believe in the Republican Party at the moment. I hope Nikki wins New Hampshire. I hope that leads to some momentum. Anything to beat Donald Trump, but I'm not going to go out and aggressively campaign for or anything like that at the moment.
But you would vote for Joe Biden?
Over Donald Trump in a heartbeat. I mean, to me, that's not even a question I would have to wrestle with. That wouldn't even be, to me, something that I would almost feel sick to do. Like, it is literally a decision at that moment between, do you believe in a functioning democracy or do you not? And I think that's the only thing on the ballot. I think that is the only thing. There's a guy running for president who has made it clear he doesn't care about the Constitution. He did that in action and in words. He's a victim of everything. He whines incessantly. He's always the victim of just every happening. we can't take that for another 4 years. America's exhausted. And as much as I disagree with Joe Biden on some things, like he doesn't hate democracy, and I appreciate it.
Which has me ask the question, if character is that important to you, if you really believe in preserving democracy, you have to fall on the sword and not just whip out a butter knife.
You support that?
He's cost us a lot of seats. I could probably spend some time and come up with the numbers. He cost us the Senate twice. He cost us the House.
Let me do this. Donald Trump lost in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, and last night.
Wow. Okay. Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.